You sure about that?
So 2 things. One, just do you denominate the bar mitzvah money in BTC or ETH? Because that makes it a little bit more palatable. But guess what? We have somebody else on the line with us. Like we got Pierce here.
Yeah, Pierce won't shut up. It's unbelievable. Pierce.
I'm waiting my moment. Wait my moment.
Listen, we're so happy to have you, and you are the first remote guest we've ever had on the Compound and Friends, because the whole point of this, or one of the main points of this, was to like see people
in person,
that we like,
hang out, break it out.
That's right. I mean, and you and I bumped into each other in Manhattan the other night at a bar. What else new? But like, I feel like I haven't seen you in like 2 years or whatever it is, and it's like I was really looking forward to this. But we're gonna have fun today, regardless, right?
Yeah, agreed 100%. And I'm glad to reconnect with both of you. I think I invited Mike out to another event that we had recently as well. So I feel like we've like
is that where he got where he got COVID?
No, that was months ago.
No, it was months ago. But you know, there's a slow build for that one. But yeah, we can do it regardless.
Duncan and John are here. They are also remote. We need to protect them. They are precious, valuable assets to the compound. So everybody is
human capital.
They're actually not remote. They're in the office, but no one else is there. So that's the same thing as being remote. All right, Duncan, give me our music. I think is that what we start with? Here it is. Pierce, have you ever heard our theme song? You could go crazy to this. You could freestyle to this. We'll give you like a full 3 minutes.
This reminds me of. We're getting into the music late. Yeah, you know in The Departed. In The Departed, they start the music like 19 minutes into the movie.
Yeah. Oh,
you can do like
Rolling Stones. Is it the Rolling Stones song?
Yeah.
Give me Shelter.
No. It's not
Succession's
Shelter.
good with that too.
It's not Shelter. It's I'm a sailor maid. Is that what it's? Is it, those are the lyrics? Probably not.
I don't know what the first song in The Departed is.
I'm not going to try and sing it.
All right, let's introduce Pierce real quick before we get into our topics. Pierce is dressed like Cypress Hill. He's got the flannel buttoned up to the top and the black hat with white calligraphy on it.
This is finest, baby.
Look at this. Look at this guy. Pierce is the most influential person this year and last year on finance Tinder. Round of applause, Duncan. Do we have our applause? Can we at least have that? We can't have that. Okay. Pierce, are you still knocking them dead in single ladies land, or you mentioned a girlfriend? I don't like to hear that.
Yeah, no. Unfortunately, out of the game for some time. So
unfortunately, make sure she doesn't listen to this. All right, so Pierce is at TradingView, and tell us. We're gonna get more into TradingView later on, but for the audience that is not sure of what you do there or what TradingView is, give us like the 30-second version.
The spiel. Yeah. It's just like advanced charts for the average, the village idiot. No, it's just for me.
Give us more.
Yeah.
Give us slightly more than that.
500 people around the world. We're
500 employees.
Yeah.
Users.
Yeah.
500 users.
500 users. It's been a long road, but we're going downhill fast. And so we got about 37 million people using the platform every month. And we basically do charts, but we also do analytics, data, literally pretty much any data set you ever wanted.
How long have you been there?
TradingView. Almost 3 years. I graduated from StockTwits back in 2018, and it's been fun.
Dude, first of all, congratulations. A lot of people are coming out of StockTwits, and in their second version of themselves, they're like finding a lot of success. And I think StockTwits is a breeding ground for talent. I mean, it really is.
It was so funny. It's like PayPal Mafia, right? That's like initial fintech, but I mean, like
StockTwits
social media
Mafia is real. Yeah.
It's real.
Like just a very quick rundown. First of all, I know you're killing it, and we'll talk about why in a little bit. Justin Paterno is the NFT king.
The GOAT.
Phil Pearlman is an Osprey.
The original Godfather.
Howard Lindzen just completely crushed it in life with many of his social leverage investments, including Robinhood.
But wait,
Robinhood
who
and
else?
eToro.
Isn't like Ian Rosen doing something that's a big deal? I don't really know what.
Fintech? Yeah, I don't know.
Some fintech related.
But there's still talent at StockTwits.
Of course.
Tommy.
No,
Tranfo?
we're making the point that people come out of there and they have learned a lot. So shout out to
Tommy Tranfo. Wasn't Tranfo with you guys before too?
Tommy interned with us.
Where's Tommy?
In 20 whatever. I don't know.
What's Tranfo doing? I love that kid.
He's at StockTwits. Yeah, he's doing social.
He's at StockTwits.
I think he's something.
Is he like Justin? Is he like doing Justin Paterno's old job? Is he like the
More-
community guy?
Remember Stefan, who's initially with
Sheplik.
Sheplik. Yeah, I love Sheplik.
who's now at TradingView.
Oh, all right. So you stole him out of StockTwits?
No, it's just a matter of time. I mean,
Just a matter of
7 years
time.
in the game.
All right, so dude, you're the man, and we're so happy to have you this week. What was the first thing we wanted to get to? Let me see where we are.
Let me just set the record straight. The lyrics are, "I'm a sailor, peg, and I lost my leg."
Oh, that's shipping out to Boston or
Yeah,
something.
Dropkick Murphys.
Dropkick Murphys. That's a
Dropkick
classic.
Murphys. And,
Very good.
That's my Irish
All right.
roots. I feel like that's Michael's theme song, no?
Big time, Mike. Big time. Michael did this thing, lessons learned from 2021, and
pretty good.
there was a lot of good stuff in here. The gold not being a real inflation hedge, I think that's the first thing that you used, and that's the most important. What was some of the other stuff in here, Mike, that you feel will probably be relevant to future years and not just specific to 21?
Okay. I think some of the thing that's evergreen in here are how about this? Skeptics sound smart, optimists make money. And
That's
I feel
evergreen.
like that's evergreen. It's obviously emblematic of the times we live in, right? Because skeptics have their moment in the sun. They look really smart in bear markets, obviously. But I think we can all stipulate that absent this roaring bull market, normally we're not in a depression, right? And so normally, if you just, instead of being like a knee-jerk, this is bullshit, which is unfortunately my attitude, if you can be knee-jerk curious, that is going to serve you well, even though a lot of stuff is bullshit.
Pierce, where do you stand on that? Like, do you,
Knee-jerk
I don't
curious?
feel like,
I mean, we have so many pessimists we live on the financial web all day, right? I mean, you guys see it as much as we do, but anybody who's saying that there could be a huge drawdown at any given moment, there's always like a moment where we have to investigate. We're almost like required to like, what is this person actually talking about? And if you don't really investigate, you realize like, oh, actually, no, this happens all the time. But the people that do this, I mean, it's a business. I mean, remember James Altucher when he was like, oh, like New York is dead. It's never coming back. Yeah. And that was the beginning of the pandemic. And here we are. But people, I mean, that he's made such a business out of being a pessimist. And that's
don't invest in your 401k. That was like 2014.
Some of the worst advice, but he knows it is. It's his shtick, and he gets a lot of attention for it because
That's a good take, Mike. I appreciate that.
Not only does he know that never buy a house and never invest in a 401k and never go to college, not only does he know that that's not true, the thing that he knows that's more important is how outraged everyone else is going to be.
Jerry Seinfeld.
And how he got Jerry Seinfeld.
To counter him. If you have Jerry Seinfeld
you're
in
winning.
Like the opposite corner of you, but I mean, yeah. I mean, that is an all-star. Like, I would have them fight in the ring. Anyway.
I don't think most of the pessimists are quite that bombastic where they're looking to trigger that level of response, but I do think it's a business in that it does force people to pay attention to you. The more conviction you can deliver that like hyper bearish take. And then what's unfortunate is they're like just regular bears who are not dicks and not trying to scare people, but they get lumped in with people who are just, looking for that attention.
Maybe.
I think they're like very reasonable pessimists. They're wrong like 99% of the time, but they're not. I don't think they mean harm.
Do you think like a classic short seller falls into that example? Like somebody who's no,
that's its own thing.
Because you could be bearish on individual stocks for whatever reasons, for idiosyncratic reasons. But like I think Josh is talking about the macro bear, the person that's always bearish because of Fed inflation, shadows, like whatever, like that bear. The
newest one is like the Tether scam. Do you know about this?
Of course,
everybody thinks the unwind's still going to happen.
Yeah.
So that there are financial instruments in Tether that are going to rip apart the whole financial system?
Yeah, like it's based on leverage on top of leverage, and they don't actually have the totality of the assets, so that if they get even a 10% withdrawal, all of a sudden they're liquid, and all of a
that
sudden
couldn't be right?
Realize.
Well,
is there any way that could be right?
I'm usually a where there's smoke, there's fire type of guy. But with this, there's so much.
Permabear. Is that what you mean?
Yeah, exactly. With this, there's so much smoke. Zeke Fox, I think, was the person that wrote that really good piece for Bloomberg a couple of months ago. And I feel like this has been out there for at least a year at this point. And if there was substance here, and I'm not an expert, so maybe it can blow up, but I don't know. Anyway, let's get back to the point of the post was like when you're making a list of lessons learned in a given year, most of the time they're not really lessons and they're just a reflection of what's worked over the last 12 months. And that's really dangerous. That's what I was getting at.
Right. Shoe shine indicators are completely dead. I think that's the most profound thing that you're saying. And you're reminding us of your plumber who you talked about on Animal Spirits and on YouTube. Like just this like nice guy comes into your house. He sees that you're doing stock shit on the screen and he starts reeling off all these stocks he's making money in. And traditionally, a normal person that knows market history would look at that and be like, this has to be the end. And what's the market up since then?
All right, so two things on that. One is that it was a great indicator in the sense that the stocks that he was trading are now down 90%, or maybe that's a bit aggressive, but he was
trading Kathy stocks.
Yeah,
obviously.
but that was July, okay? And the market went up another 55% after that. So if you use
overall S&P.
Yeah, so if you use it as a macro indicator, you're toast. But forget about that guy. Think about back to when Mila Kunis rotated out of stocks, out of cash and into stocks. Guys, that was 2013. And think about all of the shit that we've seen over the years. Mike Tyson launching a crypto, whatever he was launching.
Celebrity venture capitalists.
Kenny G.
Remember A-Coin?
Joe
NBA
Theismann.
guys in Bitcoin.
All of this. Aaron Rodgers was doing a venture fund 5 years. But Silicon Valley, the show. What year was that?
Right.
That was the top. That was like 2015.
Right.
That,
so
maybe earlier.
I think one of the things that's different now that makes the shoe shine indicator not useful is just the ease of access to information about markets. It's everywhere. So of course people that don't know what they're talking about are talking about stocks.
Everyone knows everything.
Everyone knows everything.
There's no secrets.
Yeah. I'm with you on that.
So last one, and then we can move on, is like, I really firmly believe this. There's a huge caveat, obviously, that this is also emblematic of a bull market, but I really, really, really do think in general that experience is overrated, especially the people that think that because they've seen this movie before. I think that's not only overrated, I think that's dangerous. If you have lived through a certain environment, you are like anchored to those formative experiences that you learned in your 20s and 30s. You can't unlearn that. Not every sequel looks like the previous movie. So I think that's actually dangerous.
I see everything through the prism of 99, 2000.
No, I was going to say really 99. Aren't you a permanent optimist? No?
Yeah, but I'm saying like whenever I see a lot of enthusiasm for something, whether it's crypto or NFT, my first thought is how dumb is this going to get? And then how bad is it going to be when the bottom drops out? And I mean, that does usually happen. So it's not the worst instinct to have. And it's probably kept me out of a lot of dumb stuff, but it's so knee-jerk for me because it's just the era that I started investing in. And so like I always go back to it. It's like the first thing that I can think of the minute I see a rally in anything. I don't know.
I also think people are afraid, like deathly afraid of looking like a fool, of being conned, of falling for
Although not so much anymore. There's a lot of people that put it all out there now.
Depends who, but yeah.
They're young. Pierce, when did you first get involved in stocks?
Oh, I mean, I think that I bought my first stock as a freshman in college, and more or less.
What is that? 2017?
2009, right after the collapse. So it was literally like buying at the bottom, and I didn't even know what the bottom was, but I was just completely ignorant to the whole situation.
Oh, that's interesting. So you start investing and everybody's bearish, and all stocks do is go up.
That's all. So I literally had no idea. Yeah.
So you're what's wrong with all these people?
Like the building is on fire and I'm like running straight into it. And I'm like, this is great, you guys. What are you talking about? Everybody was so pissed off at the time. I remember early Twitter and everybody's like so
early
angry.
Twitter was bear Twitter.
I was like, what's wrong with you guys? I'm just buying like Bank of America for $2. It made no sense.
Dude, you could not go on Twitter in 2011 and be like, I think earnings are going to grow next year, and I like the market. People would
love
treat
the valuation.
You,
fantastic.
You piece of shit. How dare you? Right. So you're first starting to invest in that era.
Yep.
And what you see is a lot of people who have been beaten up and just are now permanently pessimistic.
Grizzled.
And all the market does is go up.
Yeah. Rallied since then.
So that's a really interesting formative experience that I hadn't really considered before.
I mean, basically, it would break my whole psyche if we had a downturn, right? I don't even know how to exist outside of that.
It's been 11 years of up stock, but you've seen some stuff.
Wait, hang on. Let's click on this for a second because I hate this idea that we've been saying for years, oh, the kids haven't seen a bear market. Wait till they see a bear market. As if the people that have seen a bear market know how to navigate.
Good Lord.
Yeah, as if they know how to navigate a bear market any better. And by the way, they can't navigate a bull market. So what's the difference? But anyway, this idea that we didn't see a bear market 12 months ago, 11 months ago, whatever it was, or I guess 8 months ago.
We definitely did.
From the classic like technical terms, yeah.
So guess what? If you want to throw out 2020 as a bear market that didn't happen, then stop talking about 1987 forever. Because 2020 was a bear market the same way that 1987 was a bear market. And if you're not going to talk about one, then shut up with the other.
Yeah, I was on Closing Bell yesterday after the Fed minutes came out, and the guests, like some of the guests, and I'm not saying they were wrong, but the big point that everyone kept saying was like, there's a whole generation of investors that's never seen a tightening cycle. And I'm like, weren't rates going up in 2018?
They just did that. What are you talking about?
What are you talking? A whole generation? Like, how many people specifically? 10 million? What are we saying here that this generation is going to screw up their investing because of a rate increase?
Allow me to jump in. So this is exactly what I'm talking about. I wrote a post in 2017 called "Experience is Overrated," and I referenced this in my last piece. This is why this is top of mind. Where there was an article.
Let me guess. Doug Cass did not retweet this. I'm just guessing.
There was an article in 2015, okay, from Bloomberg and probably everybody else. What will happen to a generation of Wall Street traders who have never seen a rate hike?
They'll be fine.
They were fine. Guess what?
They're all going to get COVID.
Just because yeah, exactly. Just because you've seen a rate hike cycle, so what? What is that like? So you've seen it before. Now you know what the next one is going to be like.
Yeah. There's a generation of traders that have never seen Janet Jackson release new music, and she has an album coming out. I don't know, like how are they gonna handle this? This is going to be something entirely new for them. I don't even know if they're familiar with her back catalog. Have you done the work on Janet Jackson? Like, do you even understand what's about to happen?
Super Bowl Janet Jackson or a different one?
Yeah.
So I'm not saying that like experience doesn't matter, but I just think the people that say, "Listen, kid, I've seen this movie before. I've been doing this for 27 years. Give me a break."
Yeah, if experience were that important, I'm 24 years in from buying my first stock. Why aren't I managing $80 billion? Right. Why haven't I gotten everything right? I'm doing this more than 2 decades.
So you've been doing this.
That's ridiculous.
You've been doing this 24 years, and guess what? Somebody that's been doing this for 6 weeks is kicking your ass in performance. And it unwound.
Absolutely.
Obviously, but give me a break.
What do you think about like less experience is actually even better, Mike? Like take it a step further.
100%. So I wrote about this in my book. When Stanley Druckenmiller got promoted because it was, I'm going to make this up, let's say it was the mid 1980s, maybe a little bit earlier. And we were in the beginnings of an equity bull market, and everybody, all of his seniors were so jaded by the 18-year bear market. And his boss said to him, "You were too dumb to not run in head first." So I think that youth is an advantage.
This is the Pierce Crosby story all over again.
100%. Youth is an advantage. Listen, markets are for young people, right? Like it really is a young person's game in many respects.
But like even younger than I thought. I mean, like nowadays I'm in like the metaverse. Did I tell you guys that? I was in a metaverse party on New Year's Eve. Yeah. And they're literally exchanging NFTs.
Oh, this guy really has. This guy definitely has a girlfriend. For sure. That's how he spent New Year's Eve.
This was a pregame.
Okay. Sure.
But no, literally, I can't even understand what's going on. And I'm 31.
You're young.
How am I missing it this massively? But people are trading each other NFTs at the fucking party on New Year's Eve in the metaverse.
How are you in the metaverse on New Year's Eve? You have some sort of a helmet on, or are you just in a chat room?
No,
No, like, are you in the Facebook metaverse, or are you in like
virtual worlds? Don't require
Roblox?
Like you don't have to have one of the big old things. I mean, you could be in the metaverse right now.
It's sexier if you have one, though. I'm just saying.
It is. Okay. It is. And then people can make fun of you because you can't even see them. But
right, no, but so you're on a platform online. I love how we're calling chat rooms, which were the original internet, the metaverse now.
Yeah.
You mean you were talking to strangers in a chat room?
In a chat room.
That's amazing. It's mind blowing. All right, so you're in the metaverse, and people are buying and selling each other's useless bullshit.
Yeah.
using
While at a
crypto, which
party.
is really convenient.
Super convenient.
Yeah, I can't. The future is just blowing me away. Like how amazing everything is.
I can't even keep up.
Let's do some predictions. What's one thing that you feel very confident about for 2022? Michael wrote 10 of them, but I want to hear Pierce's first. What do you got?
High level. Well, I mean, I think that high level, we're going to become the biggest platform in the world. I mean, that's what I wrote. That was my first take. That was the hottest take that I had. Yeah.
TradingView.
Dude,
Okay.
this blew me away. You dropped a link to the biggest financial websites. CoinMarketCap is number one. That's not a giant shock. And just for some context, before I get to where TradingView is, you've got Investopedia, which is a monster at number 9, Yahoo Finance at number 10, Fidelity at number 6. By the way, what the fuck is PooCoin at number 5? What is that? What is PooCoin? I don't even want to ask.
It's an
We're in the
aggregator,
metaverse.
like
We're
a
in the
huge
metaverse.
crypto aggregator. So they have like data from all over the world, and then I think you can trade through it too. Yeah.
Okay, whatever. Number 2 is
That's like when somebody's like, the number one rap album in the country this week is Lil Pump. And you're like, no, it's not. And they're like, no, look, here's the data. And I'm like, okay, take that data and throw it out because it's from a ridiculous source or it's being counted in a bizarre way. Like that is obviously not.
Yeah, that list is missing some pieces for sure. But
okay.
broadly
So
speaking,
anyway,
we do run quite close.
Number 2 is TradingView. Dude, this blew my mind. I knew that you guys were big, given the fact that you just raised money. Was Tiger the lead at a $3 billion valuation?
Tiger came in at $298 million investment for a $3 billion valuation.
Sick.
What's the all right? So Pierce, so it's a huge platform. What'd you tell me? 37 million users? Is that the number?
Yep.
Okay. What do you count as a user? Somebody that shows up at least once a month and is active?
Yeah,
It's like a monthly active user.
They're using the site. They're looking at the charts.
But a lot of these guys are daily, right?
I'm a daily.
Obviously.
I'm a daily.
No, daily active's got to be smaller for sure.
I'm a daily active user.
Michael's a daily active. All right. So you're giving people access to charts and what, analytics or more? Because I know they're also talking to each other on the platform too, right?
Yeah. I mean,
How
there's some
important is
social
that?
components, but it's really not a focus. It's kind of just like a troll box. I mean, every platform in general has to have a troll box these days. Like if you don't,
Right.
what are you even doing? I mean, most of it is charting, but we have web analytics. We have data sets from every asset class you can imagine. I mean, we pull data from 130 exchanges. And so if you want the Malaysian Stock Exchange in real time, we'll give that to you. Actually, we'll do it for free. In a lot of cases, we're actually going out and like doing the hard work of getting these exchange relationships in place.
How did TradingView get this big? Because I'm guessing a lot of our listeners are not familiar with it at all.
Not even familiar, right?
Shout out to Ritholtz.
Yeah.
So,
Did Barry?
crazy story.
There's
Can
a
we
rumor that
talk about
Barry
it?
Ritholtz
It's
did this
amazing.
whole thing. Yeah,
I mean,
please.
they did Techstars in Chicago in 2012. TradingView did, and I guess that Stan, who is the original COO, and I came to help him out and basically help build out the scale that he really wanted. But he sent a link to Barry. He's like, "Hey, listen, we're doing this thing. It's brand new. We have some cool charts, and you can get market data. It's all on the web. You don't have to download anything. Blah blah blah." So doesn't even think about it. Kind of goes out the other ear. A month later, Barry writes a blog post. I think it's like 2 paragraphs. It's tiny. And he's like, hey, check out this sweet new website I found. It's a brand new way to look at data. All of a sudden, like their traffic goes like boom. And the first 10,000 customers from TradingView were basically people that Barry just told to go check out the site. It's crazy.
Wow.
Crazy.
That's really unbelievable. So that was the starting point.
Early.
That's now tens of millions of people.
Yeah, and I think the thing is what people don't understand is that while in the U.S. there's an extremely competitive
But
market.
wait, let's back up. So what is our equity stake in TradingView now? I forgot. And where are our certificates?
Where are the advisory
Where can I
shares?
log in and find those?
0.00.
I mean, if Barry ever needed anything, I think the TradingView would have his back.
Fair enough. That's solid. All right, so TradingView is providing high level charts. Who are these active users? I know they're all over the world. What are they trying to do? Are they mostly very active traders or not necessarily?
Well, I think most of them are traders. I mean, we're definitely looking at how to educate people that are kind of more just buy and holds. But I mean, imagine Brazil is a good example just because it's such a big market for us. before TradingView, there was no product. It doesn't exist. I mean, like, how do you even get market data? People don't have Bloomberg's. Yahoo Finance doesn't really have a business down there. And all of a sudden, we have all the market data from B3 and the major exchanges. And so it's a light bulb moment. It was literally like from zero to the number one platform for these people.
Is
Kind of like
Brazil
the
one of
Yahoo
your
Finance
largest?
stuff.
Is Brazil one of your largest geographies?
Yeah, Brazil,
Okay.
Turkey, India, Japan, China in general.
Are you
These
guys
all huge
you guys are like
businesses.
Bloomberg in these markets or Bloomberg Light in these markets? Because I know you're not
I
charging
think
when Bloomberg's charging.
no, I mean, I bet you Bloomberg. I mean, Bloomberg still has a strong foothold in all these markets too. But they're going after an audience that's looking to trade
Hedge fund
like
managers.
rates
Yeah.
and whatever swaps and stuff like that. These people are trying to buy literally just a stock, like the most over-the-counter things you could possibly get. And right now, I mean, even in India today, stockbroking is still broking. Like there's people on the phones all day, every day, asking you, do you want to buy this OTC that I'm selling?
That's my backup plan, right? Like if
Fly
this
to
shit
India?
doesn't work out, I'm gonna be a
Well, let's
cold
go to
caller in
Mongolia.
India.
I think Mongolian. That's the new. We got
Can
to
you
get
imagine me in Mongolia with a stack of Dun and Bradstreet business owner leads,
you're done.
just
I mean,
going-
retire.
just-
Just retire immediately.
just
Josh,
going to town?
what's
I
your-
would crush it.
Let me hear your prediction. Your most fun, maybe most out there, controversial. Oh my God, that's what I was. Most controversial prediction for 2022.
Give us all these. What are the rest?
Well, I'll just give you one that I don't need to talk about all these. What?
Wait. Pierce's though.
Oh,
You
Pierce.
got a
mine?
lot here.
Oh, go ahead.
Oh
Keep
yeah.
going.
I mean, what the other one? The other one I thought was great for to bring it back to summer is when they sold the Shkreli album to the anonymous buyer. So if we could get that back this year, or at least know
the
who the buyer
Wu-Tang
was.
album.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think it's going to be any good.
You don't think it's ever
I'll be
going to come
honest.
out? I don't think it's
I
going to
just
be good. That was not a prediction. My prediction is that we'll figure out who actually bought it.
By the time we know it's Griffin, right? He's just doing shit to piss people off. He might drop that on his birthday and let us hear like one song. So I wouldn't be shocked. You also have Stripe going public, the biggest IPO since Alibaba.
Good
What's
call.
the latest? All right, all of the comps on Wall Street that are public are 40% off their highs.
Mm-hmm.
So what's the latest talk on Stripe pricing? I feel like they might have missed the window. I could be wrong.
Oof.
They-
No. I
I
mean,
don't
I think
know.
in terms of the window, every single book runner is trying to get this deal. And
Of course.
I think that the street's actually saying that there might be just a direct listing,
Yes, they're gonna.
which
yeah,
would
that's what
make
I
a
was
lot
gonna
of
say.
sense, right?
Yep.
If they
but-
don't need the money, then that would make sense.
Yeah, they don't need to raise any more than they have to. But I mean, the reason I think it's really interesting and they still want to do it, and there's an appetite for them to do it, is that they want to go global. And they're so big here, but overseas there's players that are just like coming out of nowhere and then all of a sudden they're forces and behemoths. And so Stripe realizes that they have to do it now because they need more cash to be able to expand overseas. And so the best way to do that is to do, issuances and offerings in the public markets.
Well,
And so-
right. If let's say you do a direct listing, you're not raising any money, but instantly you have a currency that you can then use to make acquisitions. Yeah,
They've raised $2.2 billion in private markets so far.
which is not a lot. It's not
Chunk
much.
change.
Right. The other reason to do a direct listing is you can, if you're an insider or your big shareholders for that matter, are unrestricted. They could sell the first day you go public, which is a very attractive selling point if your shareholder base has been sitting there for 8 years. Like, I want out, I want liquidity. That's a
some
way
of
to
the
get
VCs
them instant
probably want
liquidity.
a way to the exit for sure. But I mean, the thing is there's so much more pent up demand for this offering that, the 2.2 billion or whatever Mike said. I mean, that's got to be a rounding error compared to, what does Franklin Templeton want to put in, or
Right.
Fidelity or State Street. I mean, to put these into index funds too.
This is supposed to happen in This is supposed to happen in Q1. Is that what people are saying?
I didn't get the exact date. I mean, I don't know. Did
It's
they
a bold
actually
prediction.
do
It's a
Yeah.
bold prediction. I think the S1 is filed. It's a very bold prediction. You have one major G20 accepts crypto as legal tender, not El Salvador. They're not in the G20. If you had to guess, which country is ballsy enough to even be
Get out
actively
there?
discussing that? Yeah,
I mean, it's got to be. I would probably say
one of the shitty countries in Europe that like barely has an economy. Maybe.
Yeah. I mean, Germany is so far ahead in their payment systems that at some point in time they have to realize that making this all digital makes a lot of sense. And
I'm gonna guess Indonesia if I had to pick one.
Is that G20?
is that in the G20?
Yes.
It is?
It's got to be, right?
I
It's
only know
huge.
that because I'm googling it.
Fair enough. Is Nigeria G20? No.
No. No. G20
You know, it's one
is
of the
like
biggest economies in the world. They're like top 10 economies.
Yeah. We've
do
got
that calculation X oil. Tell me where they stand. Last one. Democrats lose the House. I agree with you.
Yes. Yep.
Pelosi retires. Sure.
Is that wild? Pelosi retires?
No, I think that's a good prediction.
I think it's a great thing for the market overall.
If the Democrats lose the House, then a lot of the concerns about tax rates and corporate taxes and stuff go away immediately. They almost don't seem to matter right now, even.
I was going to say, when's the last time we heard about that? I guess there's so much other shit going on. It's all fed right now.
Well, you're not, because Manchin is a Republican sitting in the clothes of a Democrat. So we already have gridlock, and this would just make it that much worse if they lose the House too.
Yeah, because it means lame duck. I mean, more or less, right? So.
Yeah, I mean, this guy started as a lame duck. All right, record M&A year. What do you do with that as an investor? I agree with you. Like, there are too many companies now. We went from not enough to way too many. So what do you do with that as an investor? Is any part of your strategy at all involved in trying to identify companies that can get bought, or that's too tough of a game to play as a trader?
Well, I think the biggest difference is people that have cash flow versus people that have like a good brand. And good brands have insane balance sheets, but they don't have cash flow. Then you have old brands that have steady cash flow that have no brand rep. And so what I'm thinking really is that they're going to look for dance partners or the other way around.
So like Robinhood will acquire Campbell Soup?
Oof.
No, Robinhood fell to like a $12 billion market cap this morning.
Yeah. They don't even have the balance sheet.
I actually bought it. I can't believe I did that.
No, but the new generation like SaaS companies that have like a 30x, 40x multiple are going to need to prove cash flow. And at some point in time, those multiples need to meet a reality. And there's like a stodgy old business that Cisco spun off, 5 years ago that's sitting around and has a ton of cash, and why not? It's opportunity.
I think that's a good call. Record M&A is a good call. So I think there's going to be a lot of people taking flyers on some of these beaten up high growth names just for maybe
like myself. Oh my god.
Well, how much how much is Peloton worth now?
10 billion.
Could Nike buy it without even thinking twice?
That's a great one.
Could Apple buy it? I know Apple doesn't buy anybody.
How is Nike not just like assuming a position already? Like it seems almost like disingenuous.
Peloton's $11 billion.
Like let's say they never add another user again, but they keep 80% of what they have, paying subscriptions and hopping on the bike. If every instructor is wearing head to toe Nike, and Nike can advertise in between sessions or at the beginning or the end of a session, they can advertise whatever their newest drop is.
So sure.
Isn't that a no-brainer? What's $11 billion? That's like Kanye West's net worth. Right? Like it seems obvious that at a certain point that stock should stop falling unless you think it's completely going away. So I do think we'll see a lot of deals like that. I think I agree with you. Yeah. Michael, what's your prediction let's go through some of yours.
Let's just do one. I feel like this is
what's your best one?
Right off the top of my head, I'm going to say large value outperforms large growth by 20%.
That would almost change the indices, wouldn't it? Like the market cap weighting of the S&P if that happened?
It would. Well, yeah, certainly. All right. What did I say this number did? How many years in a row has large growth outperforms? Every year since 2015? I can't remember exactly.
Yeah.
But
it's got to be close. Yeah.
If you look at a ratio chart of Berkshire divided by ARK, it's going vertical. So I feel like if it was ever going to happen, this is the year, given interest rates are going to be rising. Well, interest rates are rising. They're at the highest level in over a year. I think the shift from growth to value is real this year.
If that happens, it's going to be tough to have an overweight FANG portfolio.
Just look at what's working, like financials, industrials, energy, materials. All of the cyclical names look really good. And a lot of the large growth, specifically like the high multiple large growth, like the Cathie Wood names, look awful. So I don't know. I'm not like betting the farm on it.
Revenue, by the way, is $11 billion.
Right.
Quarterly.
Yeah.
Right. So so they can use stock basically and buy Peloton. The stock Nike would probably go up on that news. Like and a lot of Peloton shareholders would probably be relieved.
So what cyclicals, Mike? What would you say?
Which ones? I don't know which ones, but look at industrials. Like look at Caterpillar. Caterpillar's ripping. I know these are materials, but Alcoa still looks good.
Berkshire Hathaway I think is leading.
Holy
is leading
shit!
The S&P this year.
Look at regional banks.
Yep.
Like literally, pull up KRE.
Yeah.
UPS hanging high. FedEx is all right. So yeah, I think this could be the year.
Wow.
What are you saying wow to?
Regional banks. What?
Look at regional banks.
This is the thing that
all-time
this is
highs?
the thing. This is the thing that like half the professional market participants have been waiting for a long time.
This is their window.
And
This is the
they
year
started
the
to
stock
see
picker.
it. They started to see it the last 6 months of this year.
Yo, pull up a chart of ExxonMobil.
This thing's trading like they just got FDA approval for a vaccine.
And then, for example, look at Amazon. Amazon's been trading like crap for a long time. Netflix looks awful. Google, whatever, hanging up there. Microsoft hanging up there. Apple hanging up there.
Oh my God.
Mike, you posted a chart to Slack today of the day Zoom was worth more than Exxon. What day was that?
It was
That-
it was February. So that's what
February of 21.
So
that
that's
was
what-
quite a
Gotta be
moment.
reversed, right?
That's
Night and
JC.
day.
That's what JC's right about like peak optimism there. So in 2020, now keep in mind, Standard Oil, 1870, right? That's what ExxonMobil is. Zoom went public in 2019, and it was when it went public, Exxon was 21 times bigger, 21 times bigger, and then just 1 year later, for a brief moment in time, Zoom had a bigger market cap than ExxonMobil. Fast forward, we're 8 months removed from the top, and Exxon is now 5.5 times larger. So all is right in the world again.
And still has plenty of room to keep getting larger.
But like there's no reason why these growth stocks can't go a lot lower. Like Josh, I'm with you on Robinhood, but why can't it go from a $14 billion valuation or whatever it is down to 8? It could.
Oh, it can. I won't be in it, but it definitely can.
Peloton could go to 6. Why not?
I was in Zoom. I was in Teladoc. I was in a few of these during 2020. All of them look like if they disappeared tomorrow, nobody would care. Like if there was no Zoom and we just had to use Google Meet, I don't think any corporation would be like, shit, I wish Zoom was still around. These services seem interchangeable to me.
I feel like for bottom fishers, you have to say like, listen, these might be incredible opportunities. Like Zoom might be way higher than it is in 3 years, but you also have to go into it being like, it could legitimately fall another 40%. Even though that seems unthinkable, it could happen. It's hard.
You know why that's so important too? Because these were stocks that when you bought them, they could easily go up 40%. When they were in that uptrend, you would buy Zoom after it went up $100 a share and be like, I bet it could go up to another $100 a share, and it would. And there would be no reason for it other than you just could tell that was the direction. So you have to, if you felt that way on the way up, you have to be fair and say that it could be the same way on the way down, right? You trading any of these?
Oh, I mean, too many of them, obviously. But
Okay.
yeah. I mean, for me,
you don't short stocks though, do you?
No, come on.
Dude, he got it in
doing vanilla stuff.
2009. He got it in 2009. He's not shorting stock. He
Yeah,
knows
how
better.
will Pierce?
My
how will
basis
Pierce
is so
ever?
high. It's like, whoa, how would I ever get out? No. But yeah, no, I mean, broadly speaking, I think a lot of these Zoom names, maybe no. I mean, I don't think that I bought that the kind of stay-at-home trade was going to last that long. I think you saw that last summer. That was when the big moment for me was like, oh, wait, people aren't going to be doing this all day, every day. There's no way we can keep going on like this, at least from a valuation perspective. And all of a sudden, like SaaS names were 60, 70, 80 times, and for me, it's all about like actual revenue. So I'm looking at it from literally like, can this be sustained, the next 20 billion up, the next 40 billion up?
Well, Zoom in particular, like their last quarter was not good. Like I think they were growing at less than 10%.
As soon as you have like the peakiness and can they actually continue to grow, I think that, there's no reason.
But I'm looking at Teladoc. This stock was $308. It's
No,
80.
I bought it at 308.
It's 80.
What if value stocks crush growth stocks just by virtue of growth stocks spending the whole year in
Getting
a
destroyed.
downtrend? Like quick, sharp
Yeah,
rally.
I mean, your
lower
20%
lows.
your 20%, Mike, is based on everybody else just getting destroyed. I think
Well,
the
no,
20%
not necessarily.
outperformance.
Not necessarily. I'm saying I don't think that growth stocks have to get killed, but I think that large value, because small value, if you look at a ratio chart of small value to small growth, that's already running. That already ran away. Large value divided by large growth is still pretty much on the floor. That hasn't rallied yet. So I'm saying that ratio can kick
It's
up.
an interesting prediction because it's like an interesting dichotomy to picture a world where this is the year of the metaverse and you have half the people in America or in the world focused on like buying digital real estate, which we don't have enough time to get into today. And then the other half like looking for real assets and getting crazy bullish on things like Cleveland Cliffs and commercial metals and all the stocks that are rallying right now.
Campbell Soup.
Yeah, Campbell Soup. It would be interesting to have a world where
Campbell
like
Soup NFTs though.
Right. I want to own Campbell Soup because they're throwing off X dollars in cash flow and this is the dividend and blah, blah, blah. And then someone else is like, I want to buy an NFT of Andy Warhol's painting of Campbell Soup cans. And both of those trades working. So I guess anything's possible. My prediction is crypto related. I'm saying another 500 billion coming into all things crypto, whether it's startups building stuff or the coins themselves.
That's really high.
Well, what is it now? Is it 3 trillion?
I think venture poured in $30 billion last year into crypto related companies.
Yeah, but what is it worth? Not what do they pour in?
Well, but you're saying 500 billion comes in and new
You're
money.
talking about total market cap versus money raised.
Yeah. What are you saying, Josh?
No. The coins themselves is 2 trillion already. Mm-hmm. And let's say the startups, if you include Coinbase and you include like some of the bigger companies within crypto, right? So let's just say all in, it's 2.5 trillion worth of market cap combined.
The sirens are calling bullshit on you.
You think so? Is that the take police coming
The
to get
take
me?
police is literally there. They're like, whoa.
Listen, I'm not 1,000% confident about this, but I feel very strongly that institutions are so horny for anything crypto, and they love the term Web3. It makes it even more palatable for them because then they get to pretend they're speaking a different language than their teenage son, who's geeking out on this stuff all day. And the guy who's allocating huge money can just basically be like, no, you don't understand. I'm investing in the next internet. It's not coins, dipshit.
I would say for the 500. I mean, even if we're not thinking about total market cap, just literally private markets getting involved in crypto. I mean, I can tell you most VCs have such FOMO. And that is like a macro theme is going to be crazy how it plays out because a lot of the most stoic firms are just way late and they realize it and they're going to get punched in the face if their LPs are like, what are you doing? How are you avoiding this? And they're just like, well, we're just slow. We're getting around to it. And so, there's a lot of VC firms that are on the sidelines for crypto and then realizing, well, we just raised another $11 billion. We have to put some of this to work in crypto. And that follow-on effect is just going to propel it.
I think 2022 is going to be a crazier year for crypto than 21. And I think we're going to say that every year.
Crazier. Yeah. So I think every year will be crazier because every year it will have gone farther.
Yeah.
Like it will have gotten further into people's real lives, which it is not in anyone's real life right now.
No.
Unless you're a speculator it's not. In what way does crypto affect your life? Let's say Bitcoin disappeared tomorrow, like that movie where the Beatles never existed and the guy like has to write all those Beatles songs again and people think he's like the greatest songwriter ever.
I like that movie.
If you woke up tomorrow and there was no Bitcoin, in what way would your life be different other than the tickers that you're following on TradingView?
Oof.
In no way.
In no way besides the fact that I wouldn't get invites to ride on my friends' private jets to wherever,
Right. So if you're not a speculator,
speculator,
then Bitcoin has absolutely no meaning in your real life. I don't think that will stay the case. I think there's too much money being thrown at it for somebody not to find something good.
2022 is like when like the rubber hits the road. Like we really need to see some actual cases coming into the forefront. And if we don't see that, there's going to be a kind of a rug pull on a lot of the projects that are just not working out.
I agree with
What's
that.
the most likely use case to emerge among like normal people on Main Street, not people who are spinning up their own servers? but like
shopping
normal
is
people.
like actually, I think shopping is happening. So e-commerce across the board, but just, I mean, shopping in the metaverse is actually real now, which is kind of cringe to me. But the fact that that is actually happening is kind of a symptom of what's going to happen first, because it's consumer. Like people just want to buy shit, and they can do it in a different way. And who's to stop them from logging onto the computer?
What is
all
the
of a
appeal
sudden?
for buying non-crypto things with crypto, whether in the metaverse or not? Is it that you're using an appreciated currency and not paying taxes on it because you're spending it rather than selling it?
I don't
Is that-
think
'cause that's
I don't think
all
the
I've
average
ever heard.
consumer is doing tax arbitrage on their purchases, but I think that the projects are going to be unique, right? Like you can't buy this stuff in the real world. It's not just going to be like an Amazon purchase. It's going to be an Amazon purchase that has a unique digital scarcity to it or something like
I
that.
think the
Like,
buzzword for 22 seems to be to earn. Like everything is to earn.
play to earn.
Like play
Buy
this
to earn.
game to earn tokens, or attend this thing to earn. And that's fine. I get it. But to earn tokens to do what? To buy more crypto with? Like what? It's still very circular. It still
Well,
doesn't seem to have broken out of that.
But I
loop.
wrote about in our little pre-show was that, even a few years ago, everybody's buying Rolexes. People still buy watches, but at the end of the day, how much of this is just clout? Like you're not even doing it because it's scarcity. You're doing it because you can flex.
Yeah.
And I think
You have
flexing,
a lot of friends that are like your generation that have made ridiculous amounts of money in the last year or two.
insane. And now they can afford to flex in other digital ways, right? So they're buying. I mean, you guys saw the story with Ether rocks, right? I mean, literally, you can buy a digital pet rock. There's only 100 of them. The floor price on a digital pet rock, I think, is $750,000.
That makes sense.
I
That
think
only
that-
makes sense is if you won the money.
You already won, and you're just flexing now.
Right. But nobody who earned the money is buying that. You had to have won by being
I know
by
some
being
I know
in
some
a
old
coin.
schoolers who were maybe early in a lot of projects, but have been grinding it out tough. And this is a way
No,
for them
that's not
to
what I'm
show-
saying. That's not what I'm saying. The people who are buying these things, they didn't like just finish a shift at the diner, bussing tables, and then take that money and buy these things
No.
because
Agreed. They're not gonna.
you had to have won the money because you bought something at a penny that
Yeah,
went
but
to
we're
a
all
dollar.
winning on a spectrum, Josh, if you think about it, right? So, you're either winning,
guy.
at a fucking, at
I'm
Denny's,
not.
or you're winning
speak for yourself. I'm losing on a spectrum.